It's recordings. This is like the fifth time. I wrote this after a friend of mine told me that Jesus was just a magician. He saw something on like the TLC channel or something. So here goes. This is the last time I'm doing this. This is messed up like 7 times in a row now. So here you go. What is magic? Is it mystical images appearing in a flash, so quick you don't know if you believe your own eyes? Is it talking to the dead, finding ghosts, making a woman disappear in a box, or maybe behind a cape, a cloak, a curtain? What is magic? Is it a trick? Is it real? Is it secret or revealed only to those who understand the word behind the meaning of magic? Some say Jesus Christ was only a magician, an ancient magician. Really? Turning water to wine, feeding hundreds on low supplies, raising the dead, talking in riddles. I ask you, was he an entertainer? Really? That was Jesus, an entertainer? Okay, let's play that game. So let's see. He had assistants in the audience. He did many, many mystical things. He talked to the dead. He had songs that only wise men could sing. To start it all off, he came from an untouched womb, and then one day he disappeared from a guarded tomb. Well, I hear your point if you say he's a magician, but hold on one moment and hear me out. His story is still being researched and studied, and still teaching us how to live, with new wonders being discovered every day about those 3 short years, about those 3 short years, about those 3 short years 2,000 years ago when Christ the King walked his earth. Now that is one great magic trick right there. But let me explain more while you got me explaining. Magic can be taught. Houdini learned from someone else. He had an assistant who knew his secrets. Someone who could fill his shoes and become a great magician when he was gone. Has anyone followed Christ the King and repeated his magic? Has anyone followed Christ the King and repeated his magic? He had 12 disciples he spent every day with for years, but they couldn't do one of his so-called tricks. We study Christ more than anyone that has ever been studied. The book he wrote is the most read book in history, yet not one single person has been able to duplicate not even one of his so-called tricks. So to wrap it up, let me summarize right before your eyes. This magician called Jesus Christ lived on earth 2,000 years ago without any technology. And he performed countless tricks over and over again with at least dozen people watching him every day, sometimes hundreds, sometimes thousands, and yet some of those 3,000 years he even had people studying his every single move. Yet no one, not even one person, can duplicate not even one of his tricks. Christ the King was one great magician, let me tell you. His magic is so great and so mystical. He was only 33 when he set us free. In just 3 short years, he became the most discussed man on earth. From then until now, millions of us have bowed before his almighty magic, heavenly magic, magic of love, sacrifice, togetherness in life, life everlasting and eternal in a perfect, particular, palatial paradise that we can't even comprehend in our own complex minds. His magic, Christ the King, has taught the world for over 2,000 years, yet he walked the world for only 33. That is quite some magic trick. Now let us not forget the walking on water, the healing of the sick, the raising of the dead. Don't forget those so-called tricks. Focus on the fact that in just 3 short documented years, he became the most talked about man on his planet for 2,000. Known from sea to shining sea by rich and poor, by women, men and children, kings and servants, believers and non-believers, you and me especially. It can even give you one gift greater than anything you will ever see at any magician show. Christ can give you everlasting life because of his grand finale, the greatest trick of them all. He gave his own life so that we wouldn't fall. But if you don't believe that his magic is real, then great and wonderful Christ that has risen from the dead as the Son of Man, the King of Kings, the Alpha and the Omega. If you don't believe, you won't receive a ticket to see him again. But if you can believe his magic and have faith that what he did was real, then even you can become a part of his magical mystery tour, and you can have the greatest gift of the magic performed on you, to be risen like Christ into a particular, perfect, palatial paradise for everlasting life. Now, folks, that is magic. Oh yeah, Yahtzee!